Why did
Blog
she say
Talk
welcome to
Radio.
For a moment there, I thought I lost the connection. Sherry, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Brian. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I didn't know if you. So, I know this is not the way to start our first show, but anyways, I thought for some reason, because I heard a beep and then I didn't hear anything, because normally she says, Blog Talk Radio, and then you start talking, but there was like this pause, so I didn't know what to do. And then, of course, she comes on and says it. So.
Yeah, that's definitely different.
I completely lost it.
It's okay. We're on the line, so.
That's right. And they have completely changed everything on this website, as you know, because, I can see that you're on there and whatnot. But anywho, so this is our first episode. We're back. We're teaming up. Only because I felt like we should, and it's about time.
Sorry, Brian, it's been, 2 years since we started our last show? I think it's been about
I'm
2
trying
years.
to remember, because I believe it was, actually, no, because I believe we started, when we first started doing Blog Talk Radio, it was for the magazine, which you still do, which, I'm so glad that it's taken off the way that it has, was back in, I believe, July of 2010. So we did, I don't know how many shows, we did one a week, I know that.
Yeah, the show
but that was back in 2000.
Yeah, the show actually went on for 2 years. I think with Brian, you were with us for our first year, going into the second year, so into 2011, the beginning. So
yeah.
It's been a while. But then we went on to do a magazine for you, Brian. You had Boucher Living, and you got me involved with that, and we did a radio show with that for a few times, too.
Yes. And then I dropped off the face of the earth.
I don't know why. We
Pretty
had
much.
so much fun doing the last radio show. Is that what inspired you to start the show this time?
Okay, so I've explained this, which if people are listening and they've listened to other shows that I've done, it should be, me. I kind of explained why I kind of, dropped off a cliff. We were doing the shows. The shows were fun. It was a way for us to get together and, talk about, whatever. We had avid listeners. We had people calling in, and it was a great time. And then personal issues kind of evolved and just threw me through a spin, and I just didn't feel like doing anything anymore. So, and I think that was around the time I lost my mother. So it kind of just, I didn't feel like really doing it anymore. So, and then when when that happened, I was kind of like by myself. I was kind of doing the show by myself. And, I went my way with trying to do my book and my magazine. You were still doing, Smudge Magazine. And so we kind of separated. So it wasn't really as fun anymore. And I tried doing it myself, and then that happened. And then I just said, forget it. I just can't do this anymore. So I just stopped doing it.
Right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying that I know things in life do just happen like that. Sometimes, it's sad. It can take away things that you really enjoy to do in life. And,
Yeah, it happens. But then you come to the realization, you know what, maybe I should get back into doing radio because it's something fun and it's something that I like doing, and spending time with you and talking with you and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I pretty much decided that we should do this again. Team up, do a great show, get some listeners, get some call-ins, and talk about whatever we want. And I've posted everywhere that this show is like there's no limits whatsoever, meaning we are going to talk about absolutely anything and everything. Like, you were asking me before about structure. You know, with Blog Talk Radio, and nothing against them, I love Blog Talk Radio. I'm glad that they offer something like this, but it's 30 minutes. Before, when we first started doing these shows, they were an hour for free.
Yes.
And what happened, it changed. You only got 30 minutes for free. So, and I don't agree with that. What are you going to talk about in 30 minutes? It's like you have to restrict yourself to a time, literally a time frame. So you have to talk about this, and this, and okay, we're done. So there was no time for people to call in. So, you know, and for us to talk about absolutely nothing if we wanted to, you know, so.
Right. We've always been held back from being able to keep saying what we wanted to say. And, you know, I remember all the discussions we had on, we ran out of time. We didn't even get in to talk about what we really wanted to talk about. And I know one of the things was we're held back, too, because there was structure that we had with the show and limits and only certain things we could talk about. But, Brian, before we go any further, please, I just want to say to you, thank you so much for letting me be a host on your show. I'm really grateful. I had so much fun last time, and I really hope, you know, our listeners enjoy the show this time since there's nothing being held back. And I feel so much more relaxed this time and just ready to just explore new topics and talk with you and just have fun doing this again. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for agreeing to do this. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So I noticed that it's our first show, and we really haven't talked about anything yet, but I have noticed that there is a caller.
Yes, we have a caller on the line.
All right, if you want to go ahead and bring him on, Sherry.
Okay,
that's your job.
Okay, let me see if I can get this right. Caller, do we have you on the line?
Yes, you do.
Hi. Nice to have you on our show tonight.
Hi, Sherry. Hi, Brian. Glad to be on your show tonight. I think it's great that you guys have started doing radio again, and I look forward to be a regular weekly follower, if not a person calling with topics. So how are you guys doing?
Oh, great. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm doing great tonight. I'm so happy to have you on the line with us.
Well, thank you for having me. So I have a question for you both. Brian, I've known Sherry for many years. I've had the pleasures of going to high school with her, but I really don't know much about you. So I guess most of my questions will probably be directed towards you. And with that, I would like to ask, how did you and Sherry first meet?
Wow.
You really want to know?
A long time ago.
Hey, you said there was no parameters for this radio show, so let's go for it.
Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, my. Sherry Johnson. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Well, I am friends with a mutual friend. We'll just put it that way. So I met this friend first, and she kept talking about this friend of hers, her best friend Sherry. They went to school together. They grew up on the same street, or you know, the next mountain over, or whatever you want to call it. And
mountain sounds about correct.
Never knew. Yeah, pretty much out there, in Beckett. So
there's a mountain away. It literally was.
Yeah, literally. So I never met this person, and she kept talking about her. So I went to a, oh my God, this was what, 2009? No. Must have been 2009, I think. I went to a Halloween party, which was the worst experience of my life because I felt like an outcast. Oh, yeah. I felt like an outcast, pretty much. And I was in the middle of nowhere, and there was a group of people, and just nobody was talking to me. Nobody wanted to bother with me. So I called, my friend. And so she says, oh, where is this party? Give us the address. I'm with Sherry. And I'm like, well, I don't know this Sherry. And I'm like, no, I'm not giving you the address because if you show up, all hell's going to break loose.
Oh, especially with Sherry. She's a partier.
Oh yeah. So I got through the party and whatnot, and I think our friend, we'll say Chris. Chris brought me over to Sherry's house, I think for the first time, and we got along very well.
Yep.
Sherry, I can't remember the first time. Maybe you do. I don't know. I think it was at your house.
Yeah, I believe.
I'm not sure.
You were brought back here. We met up with you, and we just talked. We just, right away, you can get along with someone through communication. They say within the first, 8 minutes. And I believe, Brian, I spoke to you on the phone before I even met you and just knew. I was like, yeah, just bring him over. And we just had a really good evening. And I'm glad we were able to pull you out of that party that was so dead, and you really sounded so miserable.
I was.
We should probably refrain from calling the party dead. We don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Even though it was Halloween, no pun intended.
It's a good one. I like that. Yeah. It was pretty much alive at my house, though.
Well, Brian, I hate to tell you, but I have a feeling this friend Chris is someone I might have dated years ago. Out of respect for other people's privacy, I'll just say her last name begins with an R.
Okay.
So I think we might be talking about the same person.
I'm not going to say yes or no.
Right, but I will say, if this is the person we're talking about, she's a great person, hard worker, funny as hell, and if you ever take her out to do karaoke, you're going to have a blast.
Oh, I've already been there. I've already done it. See, the funny thing is I won't go somewhere and sing karaoke. I will not do it. I don't care how drunk I am. I'm not doing it. The fun thing is I get to do it. I get to do it in the privacy of my own home. So every Wednesday night, she would come up to my house, and we would make margaritas, and my partner and I, and oh, the hell with it. I'll just say it, Christina. We would, what the hell was it, Rock Band. I love Rock Band, so we would just do it here. I have gone out with her to places, and I've seen her sing and stuff like that. She's very good. I happen to work for the same company that she does. So I know that she's a very hard worker, so yeah, and I'm so grateful to have met her, which is a funny story in itself. And, lo and behold, I meet Sherry. So.
Right.
But, yeah.
And even
so we're all connected through great friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've actually been through a lot of ups and downs together, too, in our lives so far. And I've gotten really close to Brian, so I'm just happy.
So would you consider yourself good friends or almost like a brother and sister relationship because you guys get along so great?
I think so, yeah. I think, and on my side of things, I could definitely say that. Definitely.
Okay.
I would agree. Yeah, it's gotten to that point. I mean, we do.
Now, Brian, you don't have to agree unless she's standing there with a baseball bat and you're in fear of your life.
Actually, right now, Brian and I are quite a few miles apart. Oh, Brian.
Well, that's good. It gives you time to run, Brian, and lock your doors.
She don't even know where I live, so she hasn't been here yet.
Well, okay.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen the new place.
Well, Brian, I think that's an interesting story, and I always enjoy hearing stories about how people first meet. And I can tell you that over the years, I've seen Sherry evolve from this cute, skinny little shy girl to this woman with a bubbly personality who will take any stranger in, help them out. She's personally helped my family before. She keeps herself busy with her family. And might I add, she's a grandmother, but she doesn't look it. She still looks sexy. And she's involved herself in various community activities, including the Pittsfield Police Department in Berkshire County. And I've always admired her that no matter what has happened to her in life, she always has an upbeat take on things.
Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate that. And, I'm kind of speechless right now. That surprised me what you said, and I thank you. I thank you very much for feeling that way and saying such wonderful things about me. And I think you have a wonderful heart too, and I think everyone, has that in them. Just, to have the announcer over radio, you just made me blush. So.
Well, if the listeners have to be told the truth, your sponsors pay me to say those things. I'm kidding.
Good. So thank you. So let's get back to the show a little bit. Brian, now we were talking, what type of a show do you want to see this is? What type of a radio show?
What kind of radio show do I want it to be? Or should I say what we should have? Like I said before, and I know I have to repeat myself, obviously. So, just anything, anything. Like I told you before, I listen to Sirius XM in my car, and which is the greatest thing ever, which I'm going to cancel tonight anyways. But it's just like they have no restrictions. You know what I mean? Like they talk about absolutely everything. They can be downright dirty to they swear on there, and which I'm not going to swear because hopefully my grandmother is listening to me right now. But anyways. But, like, they talk about anything, like celebrities and fashion and cooking. And, like, we've done sort of, kind of like that, but it was almost structured. So it was like we were reading a script the last time, when we did the 30-minute shows or whatever it was. So I threw that out the window. Yes, you have to pay to do an hour or 2 hours or however many shows you want or whatever, but I don't care. So that's pretty much, it's just anything. We don't even have to talk about anything. We just chit-chat like we were talking on the phone, and I'm pretty sure people are going to call in and listen to it. So it's just, I just don't want any restrictions. I don't want us, oh, no, we can't talk about that. I'm not going to be censored. I'm not going to be, stuff like that. So.
Right. Now, are we taking no callers, or is that how you're going to have the show, Brian, or is it just going to be the two of us talking?
It really doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. I'm sorry, what's his name?
Joe.
Joe, that's right, Joe.
Yes.
If I don't see anybody else calling in, so obviously I personally don't care. We want the callers to call in. I want them to give us, obviously we haven't talked about a topic just yet, which we're trying to get that introduction out of the way and who we are and and stuff like that, which is perfect. Where the hell was I going with this? I don't even know. Oh, to give us their opinions on the topics that we were talking about and stuff like that. So,
yep.
So yeah, I don't care. Stay on the line. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
Makes the show a little bit better.
Oh, go ahead.
So yeah. No.
Yeah,
So does he have any other questions? Joe, I should say. Does Joe have any other questions?
Sure, Brian. I know a lot about Sherry's background in production, TV, radio, and also her magazine, which I might add is very good for the young people in the area. Do you have any background in regards to school for radio broadcasting or TV or other shows that you might have done in the past?
Great question, Joe. Absolutely not. Are you asking me if I've gone to school to be on a radio personality? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, either gone to school or maybe did an internship or had some background knowledge on the aspects of producing, the production and the soundboards and the equipment and so forth.
No, only because first of all, this is Blog Talk Radio. This is your simple podcast. I am talking to you through my home phone. There's no equipment for that kind of big production and sitting in a studio or a sound stage or stuff like that. Then I would have to really do my homework or get involved in some sort of class or something like that. So I would definitely do something like that if I had the chance to really, if I was going to be on the radio, like the real radio in your car, and stuff like that. So, but with Blog Talk Radio, I think what Blog Talk Radio is like a stepping stone. It, if you want to start out and try radio, even though it's internet radio, people still, listen to you. They still call in and stuff like that. But if you want to go from there and then do your own, get into radio and stuff like that, I believe Blog Talk Radio can help you do that. So, do I want to go into radio, live radio? No, not at this time. I don't. I'm fine with this right here. It's easier. It's easier to. Yeah, I just want to say, with this, what we have here, it's easier to control. I have control over the show. Sherry has control over the show. With shows like that, unless I get on Sirius XM, that would be wonderful. You have restrictions. So there's those, you have structure in your shows because you're not allowed to say this or you can't talk about this. With Blog Talk Radio, you can say and do whatever you want, I guess. So until they say otherwise, but it's easier for me to do Blog Talk. What's that?
I said that's the beauty of freedom of speech until the government tries to alter it for us.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah.
So with that being said, I'm kind of surprised. No, the reason why I say this, and it's a compliment to you, you sound like a natural. You sound like someone that might have done a local radio or TV, small production TV show, which I know Sherry has done. And I think with both your personalities working together, I think the show will be successful. And if it lasts for another 10 or 15 years, just like the Jay Leno show, since I was your first guest, please have me on as your last one, too.
That'd be great.
Well, you're welcome to call in any time. Thanks to that compliment. Yeah, sure.
Right.
So,
I think, getting more support is good, too.
It is.
Go ahead.
It is. No, go ahead. I don't want to take up all the talking time.
No, I'm noticing, if more than one person is talking, it blacks out the others, so that's why I've been quiet and just listening. But, Joe, thank you for all the wonderful comments, and I think it really inspires us to, keep going and maybe next time, get more into topics and ideas. I think this just being an introductory show has really helped having you be on the line, and thank you very much.
Oh, you guys are both welcome, and I'll stay off the line and just listen to the both of you finish out the show, and thank you for having me again.
Great, thanks. Have a great night, and join us again.
Okay, bye-bye, both of you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Are you there, Brian?
I am.
Okay. Well, I thought that was really nice that Joe tuned in with us tonight.
That was great. His questions I was not expecting, which is absolutely wonderful because they're real questions. It was just a surprise. It really was.
Right.
And it was a great conversation. It really was. So I'm really glad that he called in. So, even though you know him, but still, we didn't know what he was going to talk about.
No, I had no idea. I saw the number come up, and, we did do a lot of advertising on Facebook, which, you get people who you do know who are coming on. In the beginning, I was kind of confused because I didn't know who it was coming onto the show, but then once I heard his voice and that we had gone to school, right away I pulled off, who it was. So that was great. And, thanks again, Joe, really, if you're still listening, for all your questions. And, it does help us to kind of talk more about us personally and, our experiences. And I think it's great that our listeners would be able to know that about us. Because we've done this, but we're not professionals.
Right.
So, what I just trying to get back into, what we should talk about so our listeners would know just a little bit more about us. Do you have anything else you'd like to add at this point?
To what now? What do you? I'm lost.
What our listeners should know about us.
Oh, about us?
Correct. About what the show is about, your ideas, your focuses, or no focuses, that.
Well, I pretty much explained everything with with when Joe kind of was asking his questions and stuff like that. I know that there's obviously we're going to have topics that we're going to be talking about. We're going to let people know what's going on in the world or around us or, and stuff like that. And then talking about people and places and, just random stuff and just, because I think what's going to happen is that's going to make the show unique, first of all.
Right.
Second, like I told him, well, actually, he brought it up, freedom of speech. We can talk about anything and just like everything. I mean, I don't want the show to seem like it's just, us talking about nothing or whatever. I want to be informative. I want to give out information and, and stuff like that. So obviously there's going to be topics like that, health-wise, and there's just so many things that we can talk about. It's endless.
Yeah, so. And, even on the topics of controversial issues like the economy, crime, global warming, education, etc. And are we looking into interviews with people as well?
Of course. I welcome it.
So if someone out there has someone, we can offer them to call into our show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said before, like anybody can call in. I mean, if they have an opinion, about what we're talking about, and it's not, and I welcome those who are not agreeing with us. I want to know why you're not agreeing with us on something we're talking about. Like, I want their opinion, So, not to say that I won't hang up on you, but, which I won't, but...
Don't hang up.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it's just everything. I mean, what do you want to see in this show? I mean, I know that we've talked about it, like, obviously off air, but, like, what do you want to see? What do you want to do?
Like, pretty much what I was saying, like, anything. I mean, I'm up to discuss anything. Celebrity gossip, ridiculous things that really happened to me or a friend or you or a friend, music, charity, sex, relationships, health and fitness advice. Maybe we could do some trivia or and have contests with our listeners. Even if people write into us some hate mail, I'd like to hear it. I mean, I think we should just hear everything. Positive stuff, negative stuff, in between stuff. And maybe, meet up with some business people if there's any, ideas or anything they'd like to share with us that can make up a really good conversation. I mean, you said that we're pretty much open to it for anything. I know I am, to talk about anything. So what do you think, Brian?
I think it's great that, we can be able to get, I like the interview idea. And it just doesn't have to be, I'm not saying that I'm going to get Brad Pitt on the line, people, so calm down. But, like our local people or people outside of, it could be anyone. It doesn't need to be an actor. It could be someone who locally wrote a book or is in arts, and is a painter or, so yeah, it could be anybody. So, and then, obviously we'll have the people call in and stuff, like Joe did, and ask questions and whatever. Like, you can ask any questions. There's no holdbacks whatsoever, and so that's what I'm sticking to it. That's it. So yeah.
No, I agree. I think that once people realize we're such an open show, I think we're going to get more people calling in and wanting to call in. It is something you can just sit back and listen to. You don't have to open your eyes. You don't have to text and type away. You can just call in and just talk to us. It might not have the best advice, but we might have some of our own advice. And, it'd be nice to really be able to share those inner thoughts that we have and what our feelings are, too, with others. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sounds great to me. Like I said, anything at this point will be welcomed. So, and we've already started off, with a bang with, Joe calling in and, asking some great questions. So, I wish he had more questions. I wonder if he has more questions.
I don't know. Joe, if you're listening, call back with another question. We kind of like that. But I have other questions, too, for you, Brian. They're just silly, questions people can call in and ask us. And, how long would you like to see the show run for? What is your ideal perspective on how long you'd like to see the show run?
Well, I'd like to see it run as long as Blog Talk Radio sticks around. I would not mind. I don't mind doing the show for as long as I can. As long as it's, because I know that it's going to make me happy. It's going to make me excited. Because what happened was, me and you, we talked about it. We planned it. Because I know before when we first did it, we weren't really, we kind of jumped. We jumped at the opportunity of doing it, which it was great. We did wonderful. We had people listening and everything, but we didn't step back and be like, okay, we need to do this, this, and this, and then I think we're going to be ready to go. We did our Facebook. We have our Facebook fan page on there. We have a Twitter account, people. We've made sure that we covered everything. And then it just got to the point where we just didn't talk for a little while because, I know we're busy in, our own personal lives with work and everything because, this is not our one job. I wish it was, but we're not paying for it. And then I just got I'll just go ahead and say, I got an itch across my ass. Let's get going here. Let me text her and see if, when she wants to start doing this. So
right, this actually happened today, right?
I know. I'm so excited it happened today because, well, I have the next 2 days off, which is absolutely wonderful because I'm just so tired. But you know, I was planning on doing it either tomorrow night or Thursday night or whatever. And then, you know, you're like, oh no, you want to do it tonight? And I'm thinking, oh my God, we're going to do it tonight. So it was great. Like, so now we've started. Yes, we have, you know, a lot more work to do, you know, to get ourselves out there a little further. But yeah, we're doing great. So yeah.
It's really exciting.
I just swore on the video.
It's okay. Don't hold back, Brian. Let it out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Let's start now. Don't hold back. Shit. Don't hold back. Oh, man.
Right.
I swear. Oh, goodness. Oh, gosh.
Right. So I'm going to sum everything up for this radio show. I'm just going to sum it all up right now. I want this radio show to be a comfortable, safe environment for like us. I want us to be comfortable. I want us to say whatever's on our minds, our opinions about anything that we're talking about. There's no judgment about, you know, what we talk about unless I'm judging that person walking down the street that shouldn't be wearing thong underwear or something. But there's just, you know, it's a safe you know, like a safe environment, you know. Right, I want us to be comfortable. So there.
I think we're getting comfortable. You know, Brian, I was really nervous when we were first starting the show. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I haven't done this in so long, you know, can I actually relax and, like, get into this? And I think by the next few episodes, I'll be able to. Like, I still have a little bit of butterflies going on, I got to be honest. It's been a while since I've been on the air, but I think I can get into this. I think we're doing good. I think this is a positive
We're doing great.
If we could talk about songs where that just broke a lot of boundaries on my end. I mean, it's all good. It's all good.
Well, you know,
we can do this.
Yeah. But unfortunately, like Sirius XM or you know, regular radio in your car, there are no intermissions. There are no commercials. We don't take breaks, which we could. I could make us take breaks if we wanted to, but I feel like, you know, we shouldn't.
Right.
You know, we should be able to talk for an hour, you know, on the radio. So I know other shows, they take a little, if they do a half hour, they take about 10, 15 minutes in the middle. They play some stupid, nasty elevator music in between. And it's like, who wants to listen to that? So I figure let's just. You know.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, we have 21 minutes left. I mean, we've talked about a lot. We have the caller. We answered questions, and we're trying to get, you know, everyone to know what the show's all about. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a kind of a slow start.
Yeah. It's not bad for our first time. Come on. Our first time in so long. Gotta have credit for this one. I think there's credit for only knowing, an hour ago that we were going to do the show tonight. So everyone out there listening, we're really unscripted. We have nothing to go on tonight other than giving you an introduction of who we are and what we're about. And, you know, if you have any questions, jump on Facebook, find the Brian and Sherry Show, and just link us up. We're there waiting for people to respond and maybe give us a text. If you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer them. So tune in. It'd be fun. So, how you doing, Brian, on your end?
I am doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. It's great. So, yeah. I don't know. All of a sudden, I'm trying to think of something to talk about, and, like, for some reason, I'm at a loss for words at the moment, so...
no, that's
now I wish...
There's so much built up inside of us right now. You know, we didn't want to be held back, and now we have it's like having the opportunity to do a solo, and you can't think of the beginning line. You know, there's so much there. We just got to get started. Got to start rolling with it, and thinking about, you know, how we're gonna get this show off the ground with actually having an unstructured, you know, script in front of us.
Right.
And
right. There's no script.
Right. I think we just gotta, you know, pull out of our butts, Brian. We got we gotta pull out everything out of our guts and like really just, you know, feel what this show is all about and what people really want to listen to.
Right. And I mean, that's why we have Facebook. That's why we have Twitter, so people can give us. I encourage people to give us ideas. Like, what do you want us to talk about? Because I'll talk about pretty much anything. It really doesn't matter. So,
Brian, I just got a text message on Facebook. We might actually have another caller with a question. I just need.
Okay.
Hopefully they call back. Let me see. Okay. Hopefully they call back. They had come on the line, and then they had gone off the line. So hopefully they call back, and he can ask his question. I wonder if it's Joe again.
If it is, I don't care.
I bet you had that one more question. You know how when you hang up or after you talk to someone? Okay, hold on. We have someone on the line, so let's answer our phone line. Hi, and welcome to the Brian and Sherry Show. This is Sherry. What's going on?
Hey, Brian and Sherry. It's Joe again.
I knew it was Joe. I did.
I have a question for you both. How much time does it take for you guys to put a show together once a week? What goes into the thought process? And I understand this being your first show. How much time would you say you put into it this week?
Well, in the past, we've actually talked about it for like a week ahead of time almost, Brian, right? Or a full day. I mean, we hit a couple hours at least. But
unlike tonight, tonight we did it within an hour. It really, it depends on what we're going to be talking about. I mean, the way that we do it is we'll come up with our own ideas and topics. We'll do it, separately. And then what we do is we'll, depending on if, I visit Sherry or we meet together in person or we do it through emails. We'll email each other and, pass our ideas to each other and see what we think about, each other's. And then what we do is we'll probably go through and, pick a couple of those and elaborate on them, like what really do you want to talk about this topic and go from there, pretty much. So, and it's not, we've discussed it. I mean, it's not going to be once a week. It's going to be more than that. So
really?
I think
that's good.
I think so. I think we're going to push it to maybe twice a week. I'm not sure. It's all, I think we talked about this. I hope I'm not talking for you, Sherry.
Oh, no.
Well, according to Sherry, she would do it every night, 5 days a week, only during the week.
Right.
So, I mean, but it does take some time in the past. I mean, tonight we threw it together, like instantly, like within an hour, because there really was no topics to talk about, only because it's our introduction show. Let's just put it that way. Which is great because you called in and got questions and stuff like that. So for shows, like I said before, it's just a matter of meeting in person. It probably, there's a lot that goes on, pretty much.
Right.
I'll just sum it up.
Yeah. It doesn't, I mean, this show we want it to be unstructured. So we want to really be able to speak from our hearts and our minds. Like, we don't want anything, like, really written down and sounds like we're reading from a piece of paper. You know, we really want to give you our honest opinions and our thoughts and ideas. And so nothing is really structured. That's why we pretty much just want people to call in. We don't want to be too prepared because we want this to be really fresh and natural, and we just want it to come from us unstructured. So there's really not a lot of planning that's going to go into the radio show. We're not going to sit down and plan out, okay, you say this, I say that, this is what it's going to be about. Maybe we could start off on a topic or an idea. If anyone wants to call in, even you, Joe, call back on another show and give us an idea. You know, we'd love to talk about it. Right, Brian?
That's right. Because if you can go back on Blog Talk Radio, and if you go to Sherry's Teen Smudge magazine, which is still on Blog Talk Radio, and you go to, like, the first show and, like, the second one and the third one, you could tell that we were reading a script, because I've listened to it and I've laughed my ass off because I sound like a robot, because I'm like a recording, like I'm reading stuff off of a piece of paper. And because we had help when we were doing the magazine, one of Sherry's friends, Katie, and so, you know, Katie would pretty much write things down and we would read off of it. Like, our introduction was so lame, but it was so funny, and for some reason it just, like, it took off and people were actually listening to it. And when I look back and listen to it, it's like, how the hell did you listen to that? It just blew my mind. So, but that show was only once a week. We only did that show once a week, so we actually had the time to literally prepare and come up with ideas and topics. But the problem is at the time it was an hour show and it was for free, so we had a little bit of leeway and, like, no time restriction really. And then it switched to 30 minutes, the bastards. So we kind of restricted ourselves, and you can definitely tell, like, we're reading things because we're trying to get through that one topic and then get on to the next one before the 30 minutes was up. We did manage, I don't know how, to have people call in and talk, but they didn't talk for very long, you know? So it's very, very different. You'll have to go back and listen to it. Actually, no, don't. But, you know, it's just, I don't know. We have the time now. So, but I don't know about 5 days a week, though.
Yes. Well, Joe, thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate you calling in again. Anytime you want, give us a call. I think Joe has to be off. He signed off, so we'll just say thank you so much.
Am I long-winded? Is that the problem? Did he die or something? I'm long-winded. That was a very long answer. I hope not.
You have been doing wonderful answering these questions. You don't even worry about it. Things are going great, and I really think you're covering everything perfect. So I think he just had to go. I might have disconnected him by accident, but I'm not going to admit that live right now. But I think he had to go. Let's just hope on that, okay, Brian? And don't hate me.
No, that's fine. So, Sherry, I hate to cut you off, but I believe there's another caller.
Okay, great. Do you want to answer that, or do you want me to take it over? Okay,
no, that's your job. You answer.
Okay, hi. Welcome to the Brian and Sherry Show. You're on the air. Hello.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad you guys got the radio show back.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Like I said, I didn't realize it even was on. Like I said, if I knew it was on earlier, I would have called in an hour ago. I just didn't know. Like I said, I really am glad.
All right. Well, what we should do is probably post it a little bit more on Facebook so people know when the show is starting, and hopefully we can do this as often as we can. Brian, you would say about 9 o'clock might be a good time for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that 9 o'clock is pretty much the time that I think that we're going to start, I think.
Yeah, okay. I think if we stick to a certain time, like this caller is suggesting, that we'll be able to stay on the show. So.
Okay, like what kind of stuff do you guys talk about?
We're leaving the show pretty much open and free to anyone who would like to call in. I'll leave the number for anyone who's listening. I'll also put it up on our Facebook site. We do have a few people who are asking us what the number is to call in. The number is 1-347-826-7900. I'll repeat that one more time. It's 17900. And if you call that number, you'll come right on the switchboard with me, and I'll let you on the show.
Okay, I'll program this number into my phone.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't know that. Like I said, if you hit 1, you have to. I listened to the options because I didn't know that you had to hit anything there. But no, like I said, I'm glad you guys have this radio show. It's good for people to be able to call in, be able to talk, and
great.
Do whatever,
Caller,
you know?
Can I ask what your first name is?
My first name is Billy.
Great, Billy. Thank you so much for calling tonight. We appreciate you calling in, giving us such an inspiring little message. And do you have any questions for us? Or?
Yeah, how can I join? I would like to join you guys.
Well, what we can do is you respond to our Facebook on our message, and we'll talk to you about it. What do you think, Brian?
Okay, absolutely. I definitely appreciate that. Yeah. I just want to touch base with you guys, but I know you guys are very busy, so good luck with your show, and I hope it continues.
Great. Thank you so much, Billy.
Have
a great night.
Awesome. You too. All right, bye-bye.
Brian, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, caller, thank you so much for calling in. He's now off with the board, just so you know. If there's any other questions, but just get in touch with us, caller, on our Facebook page. This is great. We're having callers. This is exciting.
Yes. So I just want to let you know one thing, Sherry. So even though Billy, I believe it was, even if Billy was still on the line and talking to us and there was another caller, we can have multiple callers on the air.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like...
I'm just
saying, you know...
Yeah.
Huh?
Now, I'm just saying I'm new to this, so please be patient with me, everyone.
Yeah.
I have had some callers call in and they switched off before I was able to get to them because we were in the middle of some conversations. So I apologize if I cannot get to your call fast enough. I will try the best that I can. Just call back again, you guys. We're waiting for a call, so.
Yeah, so pretty much we'll take callers now. I mean, if anybody wants to call in, they should just call in now. So it's area code 347-826-7900. If you want to call in, we have 7 minutes left of the show. People, call in if you have any questions or I don't know, opinions about anything that we've talked about. Actually, we haven't talked about really anything. Well, we have.
Us.
We've talked about us, Sherry.
I know.
So anyway, so I should remind people. So we should remind people, Sherry, that, like I said to Joe, was it Joe? That we're pushing for more than once a week. Right. I don't know how you know, maybe twice a week. 3 times, I don't know. I mean, I would personally, if I, didn't have a real job besides this one, I would certainly do it 5 days a week because I love talking to you. I love talking, on the radio, and I love talking to listeners, and, it's great. So maybe twice a week or something? I don't know. It's up to you.
Well, I'm willing to do as often as you'd like. At 9 o'clock is like a perfect time for me because I have family, like most people, and I want quiet around. I'm using the cell phone, so If anyone is having problems hearing me, please let me know. I'll try and change that. And, I think 9 o'clock makes a really good time. People can prepare for it. It's kind of when people are settling down.
Right. And the great thing about, Blog Talk Radio is you can listen to us in the car on your smartphone. I don't recommend listening to us when you go to the bathroom. Don't do that. You can listen to us.
Brian,
when you're getting ready.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we do have a caller. If you'd like to take that. Okay. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Brian and Cherry Show.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I see how are you?
I see you. I hear you all the way down here in Florida. So I thought I'd get on and wish you the best of luck.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yeah, well, that's quite all right. Well, that's good. But like you just pointed out, you have to come on online at the same time every single night, or else people don't know when to tune in.
Right. That's correct. Yep.
So
I think that's what we're going to do.
If you're going to make it at 9 o'clock, then that's great. But everybody should know that,
Right. No, that's great. I think that's what we'll do. What do you think, Brian?
Yes, it's going to be 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Twice a week.
Now,
9 o'clock.
Now, the next question is, what days are you going to be on for sure? That's the next thing.
That's a great question.
Well, in order for us to look for you on your show, we have to be able to tune in at a certain time on a certain day, to get some conversation with you.
Right. I believe
You're
Brian and I.
Right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely. I believe it's going to be. I think it's going to be Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
Tonight's show was the first one, so we kind of just threw it out there. So today, it's not going to be on Tuesdays. It's going to be Wednesdays and Thursdays at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m.
Well,
that's what it's going to be.
Well, very good, and I'm very, very glad that you guys are on, and we hope you have some wonderful experience and some wonderful calls with it. So lots of luck.
I hope so, too.
This is Mr. Ernie down in Florida, and I just thought I'd pop in there and say howdy, and good luck.
Great. Thank you, Dad.
Well, thank you very much.
I didn't know if you'd catch my voice or not, but I certainly saw your blog.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Listen, getting back.
I should have known. You got to be on the schedule.
Yeah. Well, getting back, I got your issues of the blog magazine. Are you still publishing those the magazine? I see somewhere that you had additional copies out somewhere.
Yeah, we are currently working on a next issue. We haven't completed it because of some things that have happened in our lives, so we're a little bit stalled on issue 20. But it is our 20th issue, and that will be coming out probably in about a month or so. Yep.
Oh, that's very good. Well, don't forget your good old dad down here. I'd love to have a copy when it does come out. I have your first 3 issues that you ever made, and I treat them with a lot of respect and admiration. And give my best to all those wonderful grandkids, too. And I'm going to sign off and let somebody else come in. Huh?
All right, Dad, you have a great night, and we will talk to everyone else soon. We got like 30 seconds left. Brian, what would you like to say?
I'm just going to say it was great for him calling in. And it was your father. But anyways, I want to thank all the callers for calling in, asking great questions. So tomorrow night at 9 o'clock we'll be on the air. So again, Sherry, thank you for doing the show with me. Obviously, I will talk to you.
That's right. And thank you all for all our listeners.
Yes, thank you. So everyone listen in tomorrow, 9 o'clock. So.
All right. Have a good night.
Yes, have a great night.
And I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. All right, everyone, have a great night.